Welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, you're going to learn about custom audience. We are at our audiences section in our Ads Manager account. If you do not know how to get here, please see the previous video. The first thing you need to click on is Create Audience. Click on Custom Audience. Custom audience can be used to create something called a retarget ad, or some people call it retargeting on Facebook. So Facebook will ask you, how do you want to create this audience? You can use a customer file if you have a list of your customers on CSV, either their email address or phone numbers. Facebook will match your uploaded file and with their database. 90% of what you're going to be doing with the custom audience is website traffic. You can also do app activity. You can create a list of people who launched your app or game or took specific actions. This one is for offline activity and the other one is for engagement. So the two most used types of custom audiences are the customer file and website traffic. The website traffic is almost 99% used by people who run Facebook ads, because people, when they choose website traffic, they have options to define who they want to target. Let's say, for example, I ran a conversion ad on my website or my Shopify store and people didn't purchase, but they reached a certain point in my website. Maybe they reached on the add to basket section, but they did not purchase. I would want to run a retargeting ad from this custom audience to ask them to come back to the store and purchase. When I create a retarget ad on this using the custom audience in this section, a cookie will be input on their computer. A cookie, think of it like a code. It will be put on their browser, so whenever they go to either BBC or any other website, they would see a small image of whatever product I was selling at that particular point and where they left off. So basically, I'll be stalking them online, asking them to give me a chance to come back to the website so they can make a purchase. So there's nobody who had added an item on the basket or initiated checkout. I would have lost them. So you can target up to 180 days. In the past. So you don't need to create the custom audience at the first time you run an ad. You can create it 180 days in the past. So Facebook is going to ask us a question. We want to create a custom audience, and we want to include people who meet any of the following criteria. And we're going to use the test pixel in this ad account. But usually it will be maybe the dog pixel, for example, in this course. So I might want to target not all visitors, but to target people who visited a specific web page. And maybe that web page in which they initiated checkout had the phrase checkout. Then I press tab. Remember, here you're going to put an URL, universal resource locator, relevant to that products page. Every e-commerce website has the home page, the product page, the checkout page, and the thank you page. So if they initiated checkout but they did not reach the thank you page, you would put the URL of the checkout page here. So do not just put checkout. This is just for an example's sake. So Facebook is going to target people who visited my website, who visited a specific website on my web store in the past 180 days, and that particular web page contained the word checkout. Then I can name the audience as retarget. Added to checkout, but you can name it whatever suits you, so you can use it as a reference. So once I've created that, I'll click create audience. Facebook is going to tell me that I need a minimum of around 20 people, at least, who have visited that particular page so that I can run the retarget ad. So Facebook has already created the custom audience. The next step, Facebook is going to ask me, do I want to find similar people to existing users? I'm going to click no, because I don't want to find existing users on Facebook who are just going to add things on the checkout page. But if in the previous screen I had selected find for me anybody who had visited the purchase page or thank you page, I would select this option, because I'm asking Facebook, find me similar people who are going to purchase products from me. But for this one, we're going to run the retargeting ad. So we're going to create an ad using the audience. So I click this one. Facebook is going to revert back to the ads manager section. And as we wait to load, we're going to use the conversion type of ad. We click conversions. Wait for it to load. The campaign is retarget. Then click continue. If you had already set up your ad account, Facebook won't ask you these questions, but if you hadn't, it will ask you. Click continue. In the ads creation targeting section, there's no need to put an audience, because we have already created an audience from the custom audience. So basically, we are creating, can use the purchase pixel, and the audience, you don't need to create an audience, because in the previous tab, we had created a custom audience to target people who had added a product to the basket or the checkout, but they did not purchase and reach the thank you page. So already the saved audience that has already been created by Facebook is a retarget added to checkout but did not buy. So this ad is going to go and advertise to people around the web who added an item but did not buy. So it would be enticing them to come back. So the process is the same. You don't need to put an age, because Facebook would have defined the age from the ones who had already initiated the checkout. Placement, you can edit the placement, put a daily budget, then click continue. The process is the same as a conversion ad. The only difference, you're just going to put a retargeting type of photo in the next section. Once you confirm that, you click continue. Let's go back to the click leave. Let's go back to the custom audience section again. Let's click cancel. And whatever audience that we create in the audiences section will always be here for us to do future targeting and future things like creating lookalike audiences. So let's now create a custom audience, but now we target people who purchased an item. Click on website traffic. Include people who meet any of the following criteria: people who visited a specific web page. Then you add the thank you. People who reached the thank you page, then click tab. So Facebook, then you're going to put 180 days. So Facebook is going to go back to its database, look at people who reached the thank you page, people who purchased. Then you can name them VIP customers. And what Facebook will do, Facebook will go into its own database and look for similar people who have a tendency to purchase things. Because we have targeted the thank you page, which means people have already bought, we tell Facebook, now find new people similar to your existing users or VIP customers. Then I click that one. Now what this will do, Facebook will open something called create a lookalike audience. A lookalike audience is Facebook is looking for similar people who have similar tendencies. So the source will be, I just click over here, selected my VIP customers, which we had created earlier. The location, I can start with the USA. Or whichever country which you want to target. Then you start with an audiences of 0 to 1. The closer this range is equals to 1, the better the targeting that Facebook is going to find you new customers. So using the custom audiences, we have created a retargeting audience, and using the custom audience, we have created a lookalike audience. Once you're done, you click create audience. So the same also applies. What you just need to do is click lookalike audience, actions, you click lookalike audience, then you select create ad. So you're going to create an ad based on a lookalike audience ad targeting. The procedure is still the same as a conversion type of ad. So let me just show you for example, then you can understand. Once you've done that, you click conversions, because you want people who have similar traits to purchase things. So basically, a lookalike audience is whereby you tell the Facebook pixel, I have this number of people who have reached the thank you page. They are my best customers. They have bought things from me. Now Facebook, go worldwide and look at your database and give me similar people who have similar traits to check out so they can become my future customers. Remember, it's in Facebook's best interest for them to look for you customers. If you do not run ads, Facebook does not make money. So it's in Facebook's best interest for them to find for you customers who have similar traits as to the ones who purchased. Once you do that, you come to this section. Then you can name your campaign Lookalike Audience Conversions. Set up an ad account if you haven't set up. If you have set up an ad account, you won't see this section. Then click Continue. Once you're in the ads creation targeting section, you need first of all to select your pixel. I always choose purchase because I want to optimize all my ads for purchase. Select it. Scroll downwards. And in the audience targeting section, I do not need to pick or create a new audience. I just select use a saved audience, and search for the lookalike audience. The reason why I'm not seeing a lookalike audience here is because Facebook is still populating the data. But once the data has been populated, the lookalike audience will be present here. You can select it, then you can run your ad as normal. There's no need to change anything over here because Facebook is just going to browse the internet, all its database, find similar customers as the ones who have purchased things from you. Then what you need to do is just put the same ad copy, budget, then finalize the ad. The same principle applies here the way you did the conversion type of ad. So in this lesson, I've showed you how to use audiences to create a custom audience to do a retarget type of ad. And I've also showed you how to use a custom audience to create a lookalike audience. I know this lesson is quite large, but this section highly depends on whether you're using the Facebook pixel. You've started running profitable ads. You cannot run a retargeting campaign if you're not making sales, and you cannot run a lookalike campaign if you're not making sales. If you do so without making sales or profit, you're going to be losing a lot of money. A retargeting type of audience and lookalike type of audience are used for scaling. So if you're in the business of selling t-shirts like Teespring, Viral Style, Gear Bubble and the rest, or you have a Shopify store, it is highly advisable once you start making sales, you come to this section, create an audience. In the audience section of your assets, start with the retargeting so that you do not lose your customer, then run a lookalike audience. And that is how you scale from $200 a day to $10,000 a day. See you in the next lesson.